Nag-Java ba mo sa una, guys?
C sharp po, sir.
C sharp mo sa inyong OOP sa una, no? Okay, so very important diri guys sa to ang klase Java because the programming language we will use in this particular subject is Java. Okay, so that's why we need to discuss okay, inside Java or the concepts of Java, how we create programs in Java, and so on. Okay, so also after that discussion about Java, so we'll go now with the main topic, which is we will discuss the environment we will use for developing mobile applications and also the different concepts of mobile application or that particular development environment. Okay. So before we start, I will be recording this session in order to you to have review or review for the topic for today. Okay. Okay, so it's now started and uh, allow me to share my screen. Hey guys, is it visible? The screen is visible now. Hello.
Karoon na, sir.
Okay.
Makita ra, sir.
Okay. So again, our first topic in the subject, software development tool, which focuses on mobile application development, is we will now talk about overviewing the different key concepts of object-oriented programming using Java language. Okay. Right. So how is Java is being created, or what are the different key concepts of Java? Okay, so if you say Java, so it is an object-oriented programming language. So it means that um, it is based on objects. So when we create um, using Java, so the particular programs we develop here are object oriented. So that's why we have an object oriented programming language. Okay. One, my mouse is not functioning. Okay, so in Java, um, our programs or applications are written based in the terms of structural elements. So, for example, we have different classes, okay, interfaces, and packages. Okay, so if it's a structure, so it means that there is an organization or hierarchical um, implementation of our programs in Java. Okay, so as you can see here, you have the iterator class, and also here you have the strategy class, which having an iterator, in order iterator, post order iterator, and pre order iterator. And then here you have the composite class, which composed of component nodes, and the component nodes have a sub hierarchy of composite unary node and the leaf node, and so on. And then here you have the visitor class, which accepts the node, okay, and then it has a sub node or sub tree of evaluation visitor and the point visitor class. Okay. Nice. So what are the different key concepts supported by Java? So first is we have the object. So if you say an object, it is an instance of a class that performs certain operations and interacts with other objects. Okay. So it means that an object in Java resides memory location of a computer. Okay. So as you can see here in this example illustration, so you have an object with a name some class. Okay. So that class is it is an instance or it is an entity, okay, that generates the particular object or that entity is that object, okay, an instance of that entity. So in a class, it consists of a state which represented by data fields. So this is our variables, okay, definition of variables and so on. Okay, and also different reference objects are being defined also. So that is what we call a state. And then we have the behavior, which represented by the methods or the actions or events that will perform by that particular object or that particular class. Okay? So, isa yang i-perform, isa yung buhaton. So, nana diri sa tuang method. Okay? So, yung interaction sa tuang uh, sa tuang program or application. Okay? Or function. Kuan, sa pagpagipag nyo na to functionalities natin. Okay? So objects often correspond to real-world entities. So for example, here we have an object named account, and then here you have the different states. You have the M current balance, and you have here Boolean M overdraft protection and other states or variables that are being defined in the particular object. Okay. And then here you have the different methods. Okay. Okay. You have withdrawal and you have the check current balance methods, which uh, gives the functionality of this particular class. Okay, or this particular object. Okay. So in terms of other programming language, like for example, the Fortran, C language, and Ada. So those are what we call non-object oriented programming languages, which it uses or organizing the application or programs in terms of okay, like for example, actions and logic. So those are non-object oriented concepts. Okay. So using conditional statements, using loop statements. So in terms of the execution, it is in sequence. So mga siya yung tawag na to, functional paradigm. Okay. While if you say object oriented, so it is structured. So you have a specific structure or you have a specific implementation based on objects. So object-oriented in Java also perform actions and contain logic. Okay. However, okay, these functional elements doesn't constitute main focus in Java. Okay, because it can be created or can be developed using structure in Java. So pwede man na nato ma-combine not only in a particular sequence, but also we can do this in an object. Okay, so we can use that particular implementation, that particular function, and also we can reuse those functions into our other objects or entities. Okay? So dili kay usa ka object ang mogamit sa kana nga particular function. Pwede ang ubang pong mga objects, pwede siya gamit ato if required or if usable to that object. Okay? So in terms of different concepts of object-oriented programming, so we have four main focus of um, concepts. So by the way, here it's only highlighted three in this PowerPoint presentation, but we have four key concepts of object-oriented programming. So first is we have the encapsulation. So not applied because encapsulation and abstraction are having the same relationship. So that's why it only have here three, but but in reality we have four. So again, encapsulation is the first one. Second is abstraction. Third is inheritance. And then fourth is polymorphism. Okay? So, mauna sila ang four key concepts of object-oriented programming. Okay? So, these languages are using these key concepts listed here in this presentation. And also, these languages here are main focus of using these key concepts of object-oriented programming. Okay? So if you we already know that um na ang ato ang key concepts or ato ang Java has four key concepts. Okay? So we go deeper with this particular topic. Okay? So first we will discuss the abstraction. So if say abstraction, it is an essential part of all object-oriented programming languages. Okay? So it emphasizes what important and de-emphasizes what's unimportant of a particular level of detail. Okay? So it's like an iceberg, guys. Yeah. Di ba? Kung ano na itong iceberg, so natay makita katong top lang. Okay? But we don't know what's in the below of that iceberg. Okay? So that's the used concept in um, feeling abstraction. Okay? So it uses the iceberg illustration sample. So, nanantay ipakita nga front, but ang ilaw, we don't know what happened or what's the inside gibuhat dito sa pinaka ilaw ba. Okay? Sa to ang program kung sa kuan pa na nato. Okay? So, sir, how important man ang to answer ang abstraction? Okay? So, something lang we want abstraction in the first place. Okay? So if we define abstraction, guys, so it is while I'm getting my abstraction. So if say abstraction, so it is a special type of class that cannot be instantiated directly. So it serves as a blueprint of other classes and contain abstract methods which are declared but not implemented in the abstract class. Okay? So abstract classes allows us to define a common interface for a group of related classes, promoting reusability and maintaining a consistent structure. Okay? So, mo na gitawag na to og abstract. So, mo na to pag-create sir sa abstraction. Okay? So, I will illustrate it to you kung saan na to define an abstraction. Wait. So, wait for a while. Yep. What's that? Yep. Okay. So, makita na ba ako ang screen bal, guys?
Kita ka, sir.
Okay. So, by the way, guys, in order to us to create Java programs, so we can use this particular development environment or the IDE named NetBeans. Okay. So in NetBeans, guys, when we create a new project, so you will just click this new project icon in the um, command tab na to, or pwede sa itong pili din sa file, new project, or you can also use the shortcut key Control Shift F, okay, for creating a particular project. So I will just create here a new project. Okay. I will have it in Java with Ant, and then we have Java application. Okay. And then next is we will create our project abstraction. So I'm going to put abstraction discussion, and then I will uncheck this create main class, and then finish. So once I created a project, so we can now create our own package. We go to source package, right click new Java package, and then I will name this main as my package. Okay. And then here, for example, I will create a new package, another package. So for example, I will just name it abstraction. I will click here finish. Okay. And then here in this abstraction, I will create a new class. So new, right click in the package, new Java class. So toggle Okay. Kita ra ko nyo guys.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, unsa na to pag-create sa to ang answer sa class. Okay. So, for example, we'll create our abstract class. Okay. So, to do that in Java, to create an abstract class, so we will have the public and then define an abstract keyword in that particular class abstraction na to or abstraction class test. Okay. So this particular abstract class is now applying abstraction. Okay. So using this keyword, so nag-apply na taog abstraction na niya. Okay. So how can we create an abstract class? So to do that, so we'll use different abstract methods and also abstract class. So in applying abstraction in this example, so again, to create an abstract method, so we can type the keyword abstract. I will name this example uh, draw. So abstract void. So we don't have a return type. Draw. Okay. So here, sabot ani guys na if we create this, so this is what we call an abstract method. Okay. So if we say an abstract method, it is a method, okay, without an implementation in a abstract class. Okay. So mo na siya gitawag na to og abstract method. Okay. So as you can see here in the abstract method, so it doesn't have a curly brace and also it doesn't have a body. Okay. So abstract methods are defined using abstract keyword. Okay. This one. And again, it doesn't have any curly brace or any body in this particular method. So the use of this abstract method is to provide a method signature that must be implemented by any concrete subclass that extends the abstract class. Okay. So for example, in our main method, so we'll create another class here. So I will call this main. So if I will use abstract class in this particular main class. Okay. So we can first import the abstract class. So abstract class test. So I'm gonna call test one. Okay. So we'll um import first the package abstraction about sorry abstraction. So we'll import the abstract class abstraction class here in this package. So create a new instance of that abstraction plus test. So as you can see, guys, in abstraction, so we cannot create or we cannot instantiate it because this class is an abstract class. So dili ta pwede maka-create of new instance of that particular abstract class na to. Okay? So dili ta pwede maka-generate of instance ani niya. Okay? So pwede na to button is test one that so as you can see guys, wala tayo ma-create nga method or we cannot use anything in abstract class due to that this particular abstract class is kuan abstract man siya kini si abstraction class text. So dili ta ka-create of instance sa atong object using this test one variable. Okay? So sir, unsa man nato siya para magamit nato si abstraction class text. Okay? So to do that, so we'll trace this. I need to use the stems keyword here, abstraction classes. So here, as you can see, you inherit an abstract method that are not accessible and couldn't be implemented. So we need to implement all abstract methods in this main method. So now here you have an override which it requires a super type in this particular class. So kasama na ito pag to answer pag override pag to na niya. So then um, we cannot access abstract class because it applies the abstraction. So therefore here um kuan siya kanang wala siya dili siya pwede ma-generated ang atong method. Okay? Sa kining nga particular main method na to. Okay? So dili ta ka-inherit anak niya. Even though if we override the or we remove the override annotation, so still dili natin siya ma-access. Okay? Kaya di man ta ka-create sa iyahang or di man pa pwede maka-develop sa iyahang yung sa ito mo anak ni kay abstract man ni siya nga class. Okay? So, kung sa may pwede na kung mahimo ana sir, example lang. Okay? Para magamit na natin ang atong abstract class na to. So, first, again, let's implement. And then here, for example, magpa-output or sa to o console output. So using system.out.println. Okay. For example, magpa-output po hello world. So again, di siya pwede na to makawag ang ato ang implementation or kini siya kay naka-abstract man ato ang kining si abstraction classes na to. So, dili na to siya magamit. Okay? So, before that, I will first declare it as a public. So, which will define access modifier for that manner. So, as you can see, guys, so, kamag lang na to siya. Okay? So, kung na siya itawag public void nga method. So, para ma-access din namo sir ang amo ang abstract class dinhi sa kining main class. So kinahanglan din namo siya i-declare as public. So simply to access modifier in that particular class or in that particular method draw is public. So pasabot yung pag-public dire nga naka or pwede siya accessible sa gasa. Okay? So access siya sa imong tibuok project. Mayroon tao public na access modifier. Okay? So, For example, here in our main class, I will generate here the method, and then here I will call the draw nato nga method. So, pwede ba na mo, sir, method call yung kining draw? So, dili pwede kay nung siya diri is a non-static nga draw. So, di tawag allow ana. So we need to create an instance of an object in order to use this draw method. So to do that, so mag-create na sa code main object. So it's gonna call test one equals the new main, and then test one that draw. Okay. So if we execute this, so now here you have the display sa Mohang Hello World. Okay. Nakuha na ba guys?
Yes, sir.
Naka-access ra? Nasabtan? Hello? Any questions so far?
None so far.
So, wala ra. Okay ra ta. So, kini siya guys, yung example, mo ni ato ang abstraction. Okay? So, again, if we say abstraction, so we are create or we just only create the particular implementation outside. Okay? But in terms of the internal structure, so we don't implement it in the abstract class. Okay? So, i-implement nato ang atong kuan, ang kining nga particular method na diri mismo sa to ang main class. Wala diri sa to ang abstract class. Okay? So, as you can see here, in this particular example program, so uh, allows us or it allows us to define a common interface for a group of related classes, okay, promoting code reusability, and also it maintains the consistent structure of the particular program. Okay, so that's how we use or we implement abstraction. Okay, so next is we have the uh, so next is the next concept, which is the inheritance. Okay? So, saan na siya inheritance? So, inheritance, so it means that um, so saan naman yung inheritance, sir? So, inheritance, it is a fundamental concept in object-oriented programming that allows a class to acquire the properties and behaviors of another class. Okay. So it promotes code reuse, abstraction, and hierarchical organization of classes. Okay. So the class from which properties are inherited is called the superclass, or we call that the base class. Then if we say the class that inherits those properties is called the subclass or the derived class. Okay. So for example, if we implement that in NetBeans, again, I close this first, creating a new project, and we say inheritance. Okay, so here we will just create some package. Let's say, for example, anime. Then here we have example. So in animal, so for example, I will create a Java class named animal, and then I will just define some animals. So dog, then cat, and then here is, for example, we have rat. Okay. So for example, here we define four classes in the animal package. So we have main animal, cat, dog, and rat. Then in our main, we will, for example, create a main main test class here. So we can use this to implement the main method recycling main test method class. Okay. So for example, how we will implement our inheritance. So in order to use inheritance, so first we'll define our animal. So we'll define different states here. String name. Line na nila called private. String name. And then performance name. Type of animal. And then color. Okay. For example, pili na sa ato ang animal or breed. Cancel for breed. Okay. Type and color. And then here we will create its getter, etc. So we'll find all of the getter setter for this example. Generate. Okay. And then also this class will be also creating its own constructor. Okay. So for example, like that, we have this class. So this class here is our parent. Okay. So parent class again, it is the one to be inherited by the particular class, or we call that the subclass. Dato. Okay, kung sa kwan pa na, sa tao pa na guys, di ba? Um, ikaw, anak kasi mo magpapa, di ba? So kung sa'yo na si mo magpapa, naasan mo. Okay? So same po dire sa inheritance. So kung sa'yo na assign mong parent, it will be applied to your child classes. So for example, for dog class, so saan na to pag-implement ang concern? Inheritance. So to implement inheritance, so we can use the extends keyword and then calling the class that we want to inherit. Okay. So now, dog can use animal properties and states. So pwede niya magamit diri sa gikan sa animal. So kung sa ilaan ni animal, magamit ni dog. Kay iya man ginherit si animal na class. So, for example lang, I will use lang, or I will create a constructor. Okay, so as you can see here, it generates the both constructor. So for dog and for your uh, dog with parameters. Okay? So by the way guys, kinigitawag ni siya na to o default constructor. Okay? And then this one here, tawag na siya na to o parameterize. Okay? So if we say default, it means it doesn't contain any parameters and also it doesn't contain any body contents sa to ang constructor. And then what if we say parameters constructor, on the other hand, so it has the parameters and also it has the body. Okay? So muna siya itong types of constructors. Okay? So there is ito ang dog. As you can see, it uses super method implementation. It means that this constructor na to nga dog, okay, implements the animal constructor. Okay, so yung gigamit or yung gi-inherit kung say na animal. So, dili po sa to akong sa tong pwede ito implement og quadry method. So, for example lang, void, ano na to, work. Ano na to, pa-display ng to required. Set up the control and um, atong tawag doon ang dog name. Dog name. So, I will use incantation to inherit, get name. Okay. Okay. For example, we have that um, implementation. Okay. So if we uh, execute this in our main test, okay, so saan na nato pagtawag, sir? So we create an object named dog. So I'm going to v1. So new dog. And then we will implement dog v1 that first we will import port, okay, dog here. So v1 that name, so set name. For example, the name of that dog is um, Joe. Okay. So if we want to implement the method inside of this object v1, so that bar, Okay. So if we execute this, so as you can see here, the dog name Joe is Barty. Okay. So nakuha ra ba diri guys? Nasabtan na ba?
Yes, sir.
Hmm? Nasabtan?
Yes, yes, sir.
Nasabtan wala?
Nasabtan na, sir.
Anak, nasabot pa. Okay. So for example, if we want to implement, okay, also in CAD, okay, for that implementation. So for instance, na nato ma-implement. So same gapon. So this extends the word to animal. So for example, same gapon. So we just create the constructor. So for default and then parameters constructor. And then for example here, we define method name parameter at cat food. And we have an output here, so system output print of n. We say uh, or unlike get name. Yes. um, unlike reach. Okay. So, kung mag-create sa address ito main test, na to, of another object, for example, cat C1, plus the new cat. So we'll import cat here sa our main test. And then C1 that name or set name. For example, pangalan na ko siya o Kitty. And then C1 that cat food. So the password's cat food. Okay. So if we execute this, so the name shows barking, Kitty is eating fish. Okay. So nakuha ra ba guys? Dire?
Yes, sir.
So as you can see guys, when we inherit something from our class, so it can be used, okay, in that particular class. So all of the states and behavior of that class is applied to that particular inherit class or the derived class or the subclass. So again, kini si dog o si cat, mga subclass na sila ni animal. Okay? Or parent, or kung ano na, kini si animal may parent, kini sinanda kay o ang child classes. That's it. Okay? So, for example, mag-create ko another class, tagunan ako o German Shepherd. And then here, this German Shepherd, okay? Um, Sir, pwede ba ta maka-inherit sa to ang dog? Okay? So, answer says, pwede na to ma-inherit si dog. Dili sa tong German Shepherd na class. Okay? So, therefore, when we generate our classes, so naka-hierarchy ka. So, imong pinakababaw kay si animal, dayon dili sa imong German si dog. o si cat maimuhang sub-hierarchy sa imong animal, and then sa imong dog, ang hierarchy po niya kay si German Shepherd. Okay? So therefore, this sir, kung ingon ana manggali ang situation, so ma-implement po ni German Shepherd sir ang naa ni dog. So the answer is yes, pwede niya ma-implement. Okay? So for example lang, we'll create here another method. Paguna na to o na friend, friend, ano, friend color, friend dog color or dog color. So ano na to, pa-system out lang ta. System out the print ln. Okay. So the color of this German Shepherd is, for example, get color. Okay. And then, so saan na nato, sir, pag kadagan? For example lang, sa to ang clean test. So, ang German Shepherd, wait a minute. So, pag ko G1, that's the new German Shepherd. And then G1, that, okay, as you can see, guys, pwede na to matawag si Bart. Diba? At yung void ni Bart direct. Okay? So, kung ato nang execute, so, null pa siya. Kaya huwag mo gitawag na name sa itong German Shepherd. So, nasa na ito name si German Shepherd that get name, set name letter. So, set sa tag-name niya, pagalan na nato o app. Okay? So, execute that. So, now here, dog name, happy is barking. Okay? Then, for example, if we implement the color, so I'm gonna the color that set color. So color niya kay tingnan to gray. Okay, and then we call the particular print color the color. Okay, so to execute this, so the color of this German Shepherd is gray. Okay,
Yes, sir.
yes. My questions, guys, so far?
None so far.
Mo ba din rin? Kakasabot ra?
Kasabot ra, sir.
Okay. So, pwede po na to, sir, mausap ang implementation sa usa ka method research. For example, sa to ang dog, di ba, na part. Okay? Yeah. Since si German Shepherd is inheriting man sa to ang or inherits sa dog man, sir. So, pwede ba na ko lisan or akong isigod niya ang method nga definition? So the answer is yes, pwede. So, for example, we'll use the dog. Okay, dog will not go see bark. So as you can see, guys, if we use bark here, so we are overriding the bark method. Okay, so ato siyang usbon ang implementation. For example, lang, yung sa German Shepherd. So system after print of n. So atong taon get name is marking the stranger. Okay. So if we execute this, okay, as you can see here, mga na siya itong ibig sa German Shepherd. So now, we call again Bark. So happy is now changed. Okay. So from uh, original na to nga Bark, which is skinny, na Bark na to na implementation, so change to the custom na to nga implementation diri sa to ang German Shepherd na class. Okay? So, say pasabot ana sir, imong gibuhat sir. So, kini siya guys, itong gi-perform there is a BART method in the German Shepherd class. This is what we call method overriding. Okay? So, it means here that we are changing or modifying the method from your parent to your uh, derived class. So, sir, allowed din na siya, sir, nga mag-ilista or pwede na to siya i-modify ang ato ang method. Okay? So, the answer is yes. Pwede. So, as long as that particular subclass or that derived class is inheriting the parent. Okay? So, therefore, that implemented from your parent, okay, will be modified from your child. Okay? So pareha ra gyud na sa tao gihapon nga, di ba? Kung for example na akay kinaiya nga na inherit nimo sa imong mama. So pwede nimo usbon nga dili ko nimo i-follow. Okay? So we can use that using overriding. So wala siya ang method overriding. Okay? Kuha.
Kuha ra, sir.
Okay. So now we're done with inheritance. Okay? So dali na tayo guys. Ang ato ang overview. Ito ang topic. Okay. I know you already understand naman po diri sa kining ato ang topic. Naman na ba yun sa una? Okay? So next thing is we go to the polymorphism. Okay? So, kasama po na siyang polymorphism. So, polymorphism is nearly always used conjunction with inheritance. Okay? So, kuyog na silang duha. Kini pong polymorphism. Kato. So, di ba, I mentioned for concepts man sa OOP. Sa construction, kuyog niya kay ang encapsulation. While sa inheritance, iya pong ko yung pares niya kay si polymorphism. Okay? So what is polymorphism? So if you say polymorphism, it enables transparent customization of methods inherited from a superclass. So as you can see before, that when you buhat is we change the behavior of BART method. So, dere, we change na to ang BART method na to from the dog class na to nga BART. So, we changed it here in this German Shepherd na child class of dog. So, we modify that using method overriding. Okay? So, ano siya ang polymorphism. Okay? So what is the benefits of polymorphism? So there are some benefits of using polymorphism. So first is the flexibility and the extensibility. So it promotes code flexibility, make it easier to add new features or modify existing ones without altering the existing code base. So as you can see here in this program, So we are modifying bark method from our dog without changing the code of our parent. So we are just change the statement or the functionality of the same method which you inherit from your parent class. So that is the first benefit of using polymorphism. Second is code reusability. So it means that by using a common superclass, okay, or an interface, you can reuse codes across different classes, reducing redundancy and improving maintainability. So, wala ta magsige create of methods. Yeah, for example, that method have the same implementation from your parent or entirely in your program. So we don't generate too much inter or too much method that have the same functionality. So we reduce the redundancy in development of methods in different classes, and also it improves the maintainability sa to ang program or sa to code base. Okay? And then the third benefit is that it is ease of maintenance. Okay, so as you can see, when we apply polymorphism in this example class na to, it is more organized and easier to maintain since it follows a more modular and hierarchical structure. So hierarchy man ta from dog to German Shepherd. So mas dali ra ato ang maintenance sa tong methods kay nag-hierarchy mo siya. So, kung natay changes sa to ang parent, it will be applied po sa to ang child. So, if you want to modify your child, then you can do modification based on the functionalities that you want to perform in that method. Okay? So, mo na siya naka-advantage sa polymorphism. So polymorphism and inheritance are essential to be the open close principle. Okay? So it means that a class should be open for extension but closed for modification. Okay? And also insulating a class from modifications helps make the class more robust, flexible, and reusable. So open close principle can be applied in conjunction with patterns to enable extensions without modifying existing classes or apps. So mano siya guys ang ato ang i-perform sa kini nga example. Okay? Questions? Wala ba?
Wala ra, sir.
Wala ra, sir.
Okay. So last in our list sa to ang concept is the encapsulation. Okay? So sama po na siyang encapsulation, sir. So we already applied encapsulation in this program. So for example, if it's an encapsulation, so something encapsulation, sir. So encapsulation is a concept that bundles data and methods that operates on the data within a single unit. Okay. So it hides the internal implementation details of an object and exposes only the necessary interfaces to interact with it. So example here, sa to ang states. So when we use encapsulation, we are hiding all the internal details sa to ang object. So to apply the data hiding is we use private access modifier. Okay? So para matago na nato siya or dili siya basta makuha sa tong object directly. So before it can be retrieved, we need to use this setter and getters na to. For ngayon pag setter is the mutator, while if it's a getter, mo na gitawag na to og accessor. So in order to retrieve the data from each objects nato dire, as you can see, so we need to use the getter, and also in order to set the data, we need to use the setter. Okay? So that is encapsulation. So to encapsulate the uh, state of the object, okay, and also we can only change the state by using the setter and getter. Okay, so sa may advantage po na niya, sir. So one advantage of using encapsulation is that it regulates the particular objects to unauthorized access. Okay, so therefore, the security of the particular state is quite secure, more secure siya because it cannot directly access the object's internal structure or internal inputs due to the hide of the data, okay, by means of private access verifier. Also, it allows us the internal implementation of a class to change without affecting other parts of the program that using the class. So it promotes flexibility and easier maintenance. Kay, we can only define here, for example, the particular object details by calling that method. So for example, if you want to set name of that object, so you just use the set name and then you set the name of that object. Okay. So without changing the data here in this particular class. Okay. Also, it uses code reusability, so enables us to creation of reusable components as other parts of the program can interact with the class through its well-defined interface. So as you can see here, we create different objects without changing the state of the particular variable or this particular variable here because that particular data defined to these objects are only intended to that object. Okay? So, for example, si cat na to, so the name of the cat is Kitty. So, only this name is applied to that object. Okay? Then if you want to reuse that in your other classes, then you can reuse without changing the object's characteristic. Okay? And then lastly, okay, so encapsulation makes it easier to test and debug the code since the class internal state is well controlled and accessed through methods. So mas dali na to siya hitan. Mas dali na to siya matrace kung kinsa nga particular object ang nigunit or nigamit sa kana nga state. Okay, since that particular state or that particular value natos kana nga object is only defined to that object. Dili na nato siya makuha sa lain. So, therefore, if someone uses that particular state, then it only identifies to that particular state. So it will not be found to other objects. Okay? Questions so far? Any clarifications?
Wala na, sir.
Hello? Wala ra? O believe ko ano ni ba? Kaya wala just mga pangutana. Wala ra
Mag-practice
gid
pa,
na?
sir.
Mag-practice pa. Okay? So wala na yung pangutana. So if no questions, then we will have our activity for this. Okay. So I will be posting later the activity in our LMS. So since I am not yet added uh, you in our class for this subject due to others here are not yet file or fill out the uh, form nga katong form nga form Google form. So malihog ko fill out ang inyong email nga katong gigamitan sa inyong Canvas for lesson. Okay? Questions? Wala na. Kaya kung wala na, mauman na ta.
Wala na, sir.
Sa pagkakaroon, wala na ipangutana. Any kuan clarifications? Wala good. Daog na. Yes. Yes. Isa may question.
Pero sa tingin pag ganun na po, patay-patay ka na yan.
Ha? Unsa di maklaro mo pingo?
Nag-iisang kung para sa bakit ito. Entrance sa get isa.
Di maklaro imong pan. I-chat lang daw. Your voice is not clear. Okay. Start ako gingon. So, akong gingon guys, katong wala pa ka-fill out sa email, dito sa katong Google form nga akong i-send. So, kindly fill out your email nga gigamit na to sa LMS last sem. Okay? Ito nyo hang Canvas nga account. So, marat to siya. So, ito mga waka fill out. So, mamalihog ko kung fill out. Okay? Karon. So, mahimo karon. Okay? Malihog lang ko. Okay? Para maka-add na ko sa tanan. Okay? Okay? Usara na ko add guys. Dito sa inyong hindi rin sa itong LMS. Okay? So, ang Juan, wala pa si Kabag, Canonigo, Negre, Miadas. So, mga wala pa ka fill out sa ilahang Canvas nga email account. Okay? So, wala na tayo kuhan. Okay na ta? Okay na ta ha?
Okay na, sir.
Ha? Okay na gid ta? Daog na sir. So, that's it for today's discussion guys. Hopefully, makuha na gini nato, no? Okay. Bisura, basta online klasihon, nagiani lagi. Dapat face-to-face gini siya.
Para makasabay may code, sir ba?
Makasabay mo og kuan. So, especially kung maabot na ta sa kuan na gyud main na gyud nga topics na to sa mobile. Kini kay overview pa man eh. So, nga, Java language po ako gigamit po. So, mao nang hindi na to siya interrupt. Okay? So, by the way, guys, next week, I cannot meet you. Whole week na siya sa next week due to I have an assessment sa TESDA ato ko na sa Manila, guys. And then also sa Thursday ato po ko sa kuana na Dumaguete. So napod mi training po dito sa Dumaguete. So grabe kaya akong schedule, guys, next week. Hectic kayo. So mao na timing ra sad inigbalik na pud nato ana sa face to face na pud ta, no? So magsugod na sa ta sa tong first pod ana. So for kuan guys, ato ang meeting will be next week na po na siya. Maybe kuan na yun, mag-start na sana on March 3 or March 10 naraan na. March 3 or March 10. Balik. Okay? Sige guys. Thank you. So wala na yung questions na no? So we will now end our discussion for this morning. Thank you so much guys and class is dismissed. Okay? Bye guys.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.
Sir, thank you, sir.
Very good, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay guys, ako lang yung parang recording ha. Sa to ang LMS po.